Someone stole 10 grand from me and I couldn't be happier. I had no idea what was going on when my card was denied. I was trying to buy another work truck and had to do that awkward walk of shame out of the dealership. Madder than I had ever been, I stomped to my truck and flopped myself down on the leather seats. I let out a growl as I immediately opened my banking app thinking maybe I paid a bill twice or had forgotten a transfer. But the numbers didn't lie. $10,000 gone from my personal account. For a minute, I just stared at the screen, my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. I scrolled through all the transactions, looking carefully for any clue as to why my card had been declined. Then I saw it in bold red print, a $10,000 transfer to a business called Big Holdings. I didn't know what that even was. I had never even heard of it and couldn't even imagine what kind of business it was. Did I fall for a scam at some point? It was after hours, so I couldn't call the bank. The only thing I could do was look into this Big Holdings. I called several business acquaintances, but none of them had ever heard of it. I viewed security footage to see if anyone had entered my office, but that was pointless. I debated back and forth about calling the law, but something told me to wait until I had explored all my options. I followed every rabbit hole on the internet that even mentioned the words Big and Holdings in the same sentence. Finally, after hours of searching, I eventually found the business license on file that listed the owner's name. I only knew one Brian. I had a long drive to his apartment the next morning. Red-hot anger burned in my gut at the thought of him stealing money from me. I had done everything in my power to keep something like this from happening. The anger quickly turned to worry as I wondered what kind of mess would need $10,000 to fix. Drugs? Gambling? The more I thought about it, the sicker my stomach got, almost making me throw up. My whole body was filled with dread and anxiety, and it only got worse the closer I got to his house. I pulled up to the rundown apartment complex. I had to walk up a flight of stairs that smelled faintly of burnt coffee. Sweat broke out on my forehead and my palms. Acid burned and tried to escape up my throat as I tried to prepare myself for what I was about to see. Taking a deep breath to steady myself, I knocked until he opened the door, blinking like a kid caught sneaking in past curfew. "Dad?" "Morning," I said, stepping past him before he could make an excuse. "You got 10,000 reasons to tell me what's going on." He froze. "You saw that?" "I did," I said, "but only after trying to buy a new work truck and having my card denied. Would you like to explain why my money now lives in something called Big Holdings?" He looked guilty for about half a second. Then strangely, he smiled. "Okay, first off, it isn't what it looks like. Well, it kind of is, but it's not bad. 10 grand disappearing from my account without my permission is bad, son. Really bad." He looked at me with big eyes. "You're gonna be mad for like 5 minutes, but then I think you'll be proud. Try me." He grabbed his laptop, flipped it open, and spun it toward me. "You remember that finance course I took online last year? The one you said was a waste of time?" "I remember. I've been studying markets since then. There was this small clean energy company launching a new product line." I stared at him. "You invested my money?" "I borrowed it," he corrected quickly. "Dad, listen. 3 weeks after I put it in, the stock exploded. I sold before the peak and..." He clicked a few times, opened a banking app, and turned the screen again. "Balance, $41,236.77. I blinked. "You quadrupled it." "Technically a little more than quadrupled," he said, grinning. "I was going to pay you back this week, with interest." I didn't say anything for a while. The part of me that was a father wanted to ground him until he was 40. The part of me that was a businessman couldn't help but respect the guts it took to risk something, especially when it worked. "So," I said slowly, "you committed financial theft and then made one hell of a return." "Yeah," he said, scared but glowing. "You're not pressing charges, right?" "Not yet."